They were 100% on board in that previous map in the first half. Now we bounce into Haven, and the question is, can they reset?
At least he doesn't flip-flop as much as GB. Like that's at least something. Like that man is maybe as much on the fence as Vansili. But either way, we are going to be getting into Haven. I think this is going to be a fun map because it is a slight difference in styles. So you've got DRX who are very good at their afterplant. So you're going to have RB with his nice little lineups to try and almost just cause problems with the utility. On the other side of things, I expect this defensive side from Loud to be quite aggressive. You're going to have Aspas with utility combining with Sassy, and then you're also going to have Les just basically trying to push the boundaries of the map and really get in on those early fights.
Well, Tom, it looks like barriers are about to go up, and the attack side of DRX put to the test. Got RB separated out from the team, watching any push coming in through doors. He'll set up his turret, move around, and become the normal chamber trap that you see, watching for the push in through the window, just taking that control. The rest of the team wants to pressure A, but Loud have a very similar idea. The Paranoia is ready. A stun in hand as well. This could be dangerous. Paranoia on its way. It only connects on one, though. The rest of the team swinging. The kills don't go their way to start, but they recover nicely.
Yeah, that actually went a lot better than expected. Sassy, though. The timing could be wonderful. Not expecting a fourth player to be here so soon, and now it's all up to Buzz. He's being pincered from behind as well. He has to be very careful of that. Is wary that that flank could be coming through, but look at them teaming up together. Loud not wanting to give him a 1v1.
Yeah, it's just perfect play. There's really very minimal openings for Buzz to come in here. 100 HP on both players. He's got to be connecting the headshots on the way around this corner. The trades will be quick. Already the hump back online for Sassy. And in a moment, that's going to be thrown out. There you go, clearing off long. And now they know exactly where he's coming from. At least for the next couple seconds, they'll have their sights set on short. There's the swing, and it's closed out by Sassy with a phenomenal peek back through on short, dropping the spike, and the final player, Loud, have gone 3 for 3 in pistols.
Yeah, and an exciting idea as well. I think we're going to see a lot more stuff like that. The fact is they don't even combine alongside that fade either, which is the normal way you're going to be pressuring over onto that A site, so clearly showing that there's a lot more depth. Now, there's no surprise for me that the Haven stats for DRX are very good. This has been a map that I think they've been consistently one of the best in the world for probably over a year and a half. Like, it is absurd how good they are at sort of creating on this map, and I think that's why we still have this sort of, well, vintage setup for them on the Agent pool.
Yeah, it's not one that I'm against in any way. Oh my! Buzz has got some good ideas to dash in the shorty. Sadik under pressure, but picking up every single kill. Walked away with 4. The ace possible! Les has stolen it. He's taking it away from him, but that would have actually given him the Rolling Thunder as well. So that was kind of rude, but okay.
You know, I need my one orb that's going to go towards the Tour de Force.
I'm pretty close to Tour de Force, man. I'm pretty close. Let me get it.
Of course, a Prime Gaming Flawless. Exactly what you want to see as well from Loud, because they are a team that normally likes to go in quite heavy in these purchases. But yeah, a single kill coming through here for Sadak could be a pretty nasty scenario for DRX, as they are not close to having any of those ults online. But as we saw in the last map, they are pretty good in buy rounds.
Well, that is the truth. Buy round coming up right here and now, and the disruption play was to try a seize nade into mid. Loud don't get any reward for that. DRX playing nice and far back to start with. They've got a turret down. I believe that's inside the smoke on A, so no, not even a chance for a player to sneak in and get a little bit closer. But ultimately, when you look at this early round, DRX have gotten nothing done. This was very much waiting for the aggression of their opponents. I think that's why they're even filtering into mid now to try and clear out off the seize nade that no one's pushed down. And with nothing seen, this is a little bit awkward. To play these kind of rounds with a minute on the clock before you leave your spawn, it means that you could be running into players in nasty little corners at any moment.
Yeah, and they've already used up both the Prowlers as well.
Yep.
So any spot they now push is going to have a sort of dry peak risk to it. But already, they managed to take control fairly easy. The counter utility coming out though, and actually the Aftershock is going to delay, but not stop.
He's gone in, off the back of the flash. Aspas has absolutely no fear, trading out Sadik. A rifle now to be retrieved, potentially. His teammates pushing down on A long, though, so far away. This is going to probably be a reset on timing, just to allow that little bit of extra positioning for Loud. They've done well to trade out the numbers like that. A little bit of HP taken off of Aspas, though.
Spam not far away from doing some damage. I almost feel like there's a possibility they're just trying to lock them in at this point. Les waiting for some sort of distraction to be made, and Buzz, he wants to try and fight around the smoke, repositioning to join up with his teammates, and he just isn't missing a beat. Finally, he's put down by Sassy, but that flank is watched from Marco, and it leaves just Sassy alone. And this time, he's not going to be able to fight anything back. Retreating with the rifle, they'll still have a purchase, of course, coming into the next round, but DRX, after what was a little bit of a shaky start, looked pretty good.
Yeah, that definitely could have gone a lot worse. They only lose the 2 players coming out of that round, but again, the benefit of these early economic rounds, winning the pistol, first of all, but then the way they follow that up over on Loud, giving themselves these rifles to still duel with, making sure that they're going for those trades. Like, Sadek had the rifle, he goes down, and straight away Aspis is on the swing, ready to take that kill. Making value of those Spectres off the trades alone, so 2-1. As we rock into this round, you can see there's a couple players low on credits for DRX, so a really good opportunity for Loud to walk away with this early half.
Yeah, same for either side though. It's going to be a swing round in terms of that economy. Less already going to do a little bit of damage. We've seen the same aggressive push in towards short. Now they haven't actually used a lot of the combo utility just yet. The nade and the C's still online, but with this peak spotting absolutely nothing, they might actually want to start gambling a rotation back away from this side of the map.
So in the previous round I said it was the turret, but I realized it was the alarm bot that's been outside of A. They've had to pull that back. I'm not sure that Loud were close enough to hear it though. They've still got 2 players in position on the A site, so this push is going to have to be held off by the other 3. And immediately they've lost less and conceded the control. They're going to have to play for the post plant on this. They have got a rolling thunder to work with, and that's going to be the point man of the round. But look, a little bit too close was Buzz. They've taken him down anyways. I don't know if they saw him through the smoke, but no plant for DRX, no control, and now a man disadvantage. They've even lost Zest on the way back. They're completely trapped, and the nade is hunting them down.
Yeah, they're now stuck in the mud. They either need to push Aspas, who's going to have a teammate looking to support him in the form of Pancada, so even if they get that kill, they're still locked in, and they've only got 20 seconds to play with, so they'd have to just run straight towards this B site. I almost wonder if it's just worth saving the guns instead. They are going to look for that fight, and Marco, well, he gets a single kill before eventually going down. Really solid stuff out from Loud, because the fact is, the initial battle in that round didn't go to plan. The idea is Les maybe gets a kill, get out, but instead, he goes down. He even had the rendezvous allowing him to go out of the site, and then they were going to play retake. It didn't work out, and they still managed to get into that site quickly enough and stop them from getting the plant.
And really, you look at Buzz, he got past the rolling thunder, he was up close, ready for the fight, and almost feels like maybe he was a little too close. The barrel could have been poking through the smoke, or it was blind fire,
Yeah.
but either way,
it's the only spot, so I guess they would have spammed it anyway.
yeah, I think it's hard to even detect because one step further back, oh, that's a missed shot. An opportunity for DRX as they close in the distance, but Loud doesn't miss a second time.
Yeah, and the problem is that's the Blade Storm gone. That was the one real danger in this round that Loud had to face off against. Now they do have the Nightfall, but I think unless they get a kill or 2, it's probably not going to be something they want to try and use unless, well, you can see what happens when he does survive, even baiting for Bancada. As now it's left all onto Stacks. 1 versus 5, clearing him out is going to be an impossibility. He manages to get 2 kills, a nice couple of shots, but that will be all. Loud, 4th round on the board on this defensive side, and okay, now there's going to be a buy coming up, but it's whether or not DRX can break back.
Yeah, look, this is starting to become a commanding position from Loud. The fact that they are as far ahead as they are, and then the context of some of these rounds of the previous map in particular, losing out on that, the mentality of DRX is under a lot of strain. And, well, they'll be able to keep themselves happy and smiling, but if they lose this round, it becomes a much more dire situation, especially if they lose it in such a convincing way, right? They're coming in with their Nightfall, they're coming in with a rolling thunder as well, but Aspis had a fantastic game.
Are they gonna seasonate? I think they're gonna seasonate straight away. They haven't done it on this side of the map just yet, so they might even expect this to be for free. It is gonna be instantly bypassed, but they are gonna know that there's a player close, and Showstopper will get them what they wanted anyway.
Smoker down. A lot of control for DRX now that they can't afford to contest. I mean, the closest thing they have is, well, it's going to be that cloud burst coming out of Buzz. Not a great thing to be filling the gaps up with. No possibility of a res. Again, still having the Nightmare as well as the Rolling Thunder.
The thing is, it's a really powerful ult combination on that A site, but that's why you see the challenge from Loud. Like, they wanted to deny that early space, even using the showstopper just to make sure they garner an extra kill. And now you almost have to wonder, do you want to gamble back into that as DRX, or are you just looking to try and reset and play someone else? And they are going to go in that direction because it's still a very good way to get an afterplan. But you can see how passive the defense is currently. They will fall straight out of the site and play retake.
Yeah, they've been here for like 20 seconds now, just playing way, way back. And this is the thing, Loud are fully aware. You look at DRX, how are they going to get into a site? Well, they're not going to be smoking angles and pushing. The most likely thing for them to do is to make this commitment.
Yeah.
Double ult in, take the space, so they'll at least get themselves on the site. But Loud are happy with that trade because they're in a position now. Faking out the updraft is interesting.
There's a player out there. Yep. So yeah, that's the problem. Like, it would have been a nice fake, but it hasn't done too much. Blackhearter actually going to stick that deep control. He has bypassed RB. And this fight's going to be everything. If he can find this kill, there's a good chance, but Buzz has just come up with 2. This round looked like such a good position, and instead now RB pinces from behind. The remaining 2 trying to get back in, fighting through. It's into a 2 versus 2. What? That's just 1. What a swing round coming back. It's left onto RB. The man who was in the back lines, they know exactly where he is. Sassy trying to guard him. And somehow, once again, Loud come out on top.
That has got to be such a horrible position to be in as the attackers.
It's a backbreaker.
4v2 again. And it's off this drop down from up above. Buzz getting the kill. They even catch the flank. It seemed all the danger men were gone, but they can't close these rounds out. 2 now in recent memory that they've lost. And this has got to be exactly like you said. It's a backbreaker. They're going to be calling a timeout. That's DRX's. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised to hear. And I think they're going to be talking through some meditation techniques for the next 30 seconds.
That's the thing. There is a reason why Sadak and Sassy have been on the top Brazilian team throughout the entirety of the VCT. There is a reason why a roster was built around them. Like, we know for a fact that players like Sassy had offers in Europe.
Yep.
Like, there were teams that wanted this man, but he stuck around in Brazil and is now again on the top team in Brazil. Well, I guess you could say the whole of Latin America. The fact is, you're now looking at this retake coming through, and it was just superb. The fact that they had the setup, one player pushing Buzz out into a position which leads it straight into Sadak, it must be so difficult to play against. And well, 5-1, DRX, they've taken that timeout, Mitch, but honestly, at this point, you've almost just got to go, okay, we need to calm ourselves down. We have lost some silly rounds here.
You know, if you've got a short-term memory, it might be kind of hard to think about Loud in this light, but the event before last, they were grand finalists.
Yeah.
Then they came in and they couldn't get out of groups, but the group they had Optic in it. It was Crew, the regional matchup, and that can be tough for any team. Now they're coming in
and Guild as well. That was like the group of death. It was a horrible, horrible group. Crew didn't make it out either.
Yeah. You know, you look at DRX right now, and it was very much feeling like after that first half, that mold was broken, that it was shattered, but now it looks like it could be their mental that's shattered, and I wouldn't blame them. A tough game so far, and it's only getting tougher. This eco round sees absolutely nothing. 6-1.
I love the setups from Loud. They are changing the way they play every single round. I don't think there's been a single round so far in this half that has been the same. The C-site setup, every round has been Les takes a fight, he TPs out, they play retake. This time, Les TPs out, Pancada is deep. Nobody checks the corner, he gets a multi-frag. Like, they are just putting in little details that you go, okay, you know we're doing this, you know we're doing this, you know we're doing this, we're not doing this. And every single time, it seems like DRX are fooled. Loud are playing a magnificent game right now.
Eliminated again and again or knocked to lower brackets. Both of these teams have seen Optic far more times than they'd want to. The next game up for the winner here will be Xset or Optic, a chance to maybe take some revenge, and for now it looks like it'll be Loud who have that chance. 6-1 in the lead, but a bye round for DRX. All of these players towards the A site. This has been the hotly contested zone, and so Loud will have a late play to try and take some control. A Prowler, 2 players spotted. They definitely heard 2 different guns, a Vandal and a Phantom, fire off, so they know at this point you've got a bunch of presence outside the A site, so they'll stick with their 3 players in position. Breach ready to counter flash out on long.
Buzz
is inside of them.
Oh, well, he's just been caught out. They've sectioned them apart with the ult. The push through, just unable to get anything, and now Sadek just looking to try and slow them down. It's the TP from Marco, though. This is an insane play from him, but even still, it's not even going to be close to enough. The rest of his team died just seconds before he made that move, and although the distraction garnered 3 kills, it still was fairly comfortable for Loud.
The Brazilians leading 7-1. Korea not looking too hot right now. This was DRX's map pick, and we had concerns on the mental level coming in, and I'm not sure they've had a chance to even reach any of that. Loud have dominated. The A plan has been working again and again. They seem to have a lot of A plans.
The game that's being called by Sadek may be one of the best we've ever seen. Like, they have had the read every single round. Like, the fact that they hold the Nightfall just to try and basically dismantle the A take, it's just fantastic. I don't think they've had an ultimate that hasn't had impact, which is just absurd. That doesn't happen very often at all. And once again, back down to some SMGs, some pistols. Okay, you got lockdown, but it's lockdown.
Especially on this map.
There's a breach.
There's very minimal positions you can use it from, and wherever you do use it from, they can probably aftershock it.
Yeah. Maybe on the, I think we've seen on the defensive side just some incredibly passive A1s that have worked out, but you're hoping for a miracle.
50 seconds on the clock as DRX make their way out on long. Tucked in. This is a bait setup, and they haven't given it away at all. Still, it will be cleared. Sassy holds on for one, and Aspis with the trade. They've got the spike now, and he falls back to watch this short pinch. He knows Zest is going to want to support his teammates on the way through, even with the flash in play. A Prowler, but 2 players watching him. There was no way he was getting any more than 1. And with the spike down on long and 2 players spotted, they know they've got the info to work off of. Still to follow up on the kills, and the TP out of corner might cause a bit of a problem, but there's only 20 seconds left. So where are they going to go with the spike with such limited time? They're only going one way. That's straight into the site to their deaths.
Spike down A. 10 seconds left.
Wow. Again, 8-1. We've seen responses from DRX throughout this tournament, but most of the time it's been in that first map. Most of the time, I said, they haven't had to have a mental reset. It's been in the map itself that they've been able to turn things around, and well, I think they're getting a taste of their own medicine here. They let it slip when it comes to Breeze. They've now come into their choice, and it's not looking good. And I don't want to take away credit from Loud. I think they are playing an excellent game in terms of the reads, ults, individual brilliance. But at the same time, you expect DRX to have more than just one.
Well, for Loud, this is a team that was denied playoffs last time. Grand finalists before, and they're looking to repeat the first event of the year. 8-1 in the lead. A dominant scoreline for their defense starting it out, and whatever you think about DRX's defensive capabilities, I think even Seth would find it hard to find a positive here. The silver lining, pretty dull and less. Opening it up again. He hasn't been getting a ton of kills, but he hasn't been dying a lot either. This time, that changes with RB overrunning C.
Yeah, we've seen him step up. They only have 1 kill up until this point. Nice shots from Zest. Starting to see a little bit of the DRX we know and love. 4 players survive, a second round onto the board. And that's the thing, Mitch. If they could streak this back to 4, if they can give themselves a little bit of a lifeline, there is still very much a chance of resurgence. The thing is, though, this looks far more like a blip on the radar, at least for now.
It was a big round from RB. We've seen some of those and solid connections from Zest, but that is a round 1 off of aim duels going their way, and that has not been the story of this game so far. A long road to recovery. Let's talk about it. If they can push to 4, great. Pistol under their belt, they win the first of the series for them? Maybe. But the reality is right now, Loud have everything to work with. They've got their ultis online, Tour de Force is in, Rolling Thunder, and Showstoppers. So many safety nets, and sure, DRX have their own, but they haven't been able to do anything with it so far. Sadek down after 1, and RB with another back-to-back big rounds. That might just be what they need.
Yeah, if RB could just get triple kills every single round, I think they'll be in a pretty good spot. The aggressive attempt this time didn't work out, and they are playing it so safe.
No breach.
Just put that lockdown into play. Yeah, there's no counter for it this time out. Pancada is coming in on that flank, but it's something they have to be watching for. Not many angles that he can be really pincering him from behind, although that one's free. They do have a little bit of a crossfire, though, that I think will be tough to break.
Once that alarm ball went down, the timing was perfect for Pancata to sneak on by, but he'll be caught after just the element of surprise, all that put him ahead in those duels with Les now, the last man standing. He's got 3 shots left in his tour de force, 3 targets to find, and he uses 1, 2, in fact, to break. Utility, here's a paranoia, can't break that one, and they know he's not defusing. This round's already over.
8-3. As said, if they can get to 4, especially after the half they've had, especially with how dominant the majority of rounds are, excluding the 2v4, it would give them something to play with at least.
That was my face too. Yep. Pretty good spray down.
They've also got a hell of a lot of ults. Rolling Thunder, Nightfall, Blade Storm. Okay, there's some on the other side as well, and with how many set plays there have been for Loud, it looks like they might be setting up for another one. A trap play on this A site where we've seen a lot of early pressure from DRX so far.
Seasonade going in, players were there, but they've fallen back, and the TP out of Mako just to bait the sound, so they use up utility. 4 players from Loud towards this A site, and the immediate response from DRX, they have left entirely, fled to C, and that ult is going to catch the information. They know exactly where Les is, and he has to leave. Couldn't even hear the steps as they made it close, so timing was all that it was about.
They've held the Rolling Thunder. So there's one on both sides, but it means that they can almost counter it, use it to try and stop the defuse. RB again is going to be finding the early kill in this round, and Aspas trying to clear things out with that showstopper. The Boombot's actually going to do more damage, it seems, as he is running out of fuel. Oh! Marco's managed to survive in this backline. That could be a really nasty surprise. Rounds the corner, not ready for him. And his teammates starting to dwindle, starting to fall. It's left all onto Sassy, and the time surely is gone.
It must be. There's too many players to clear out. Loud have been criminals for 4v2s, for clutches, but with another 3K round from RB, it seems we found the formula. Just let this man kill them all. And the best part is, he had, what, 3Ks back-to-back, and he ends on 10 kills. What a resurgence from RB. Let's toss it off to the desk and see if the momentum can carry DRX through.
8-4 in favor of Loud, but what a big comeback of rounds that we saw there from DRX and Benka. I want to start with you, buddy, because, you know, it felt like at one point that this was just going to be Loud with a clean 2-0 win, at the very least where we were at the first half.
Yeah, so I would say Loud started really strong.
Yeah,
DRX had their pretty good side executes, but the problem with that is that a lot of it are set plays, which doesn't really have a lot of room for creativity in terms of on-the-fly calls. And you could see Loud taking advantage of the way that DRX had their defaults. So their default would be they'll just hang around, take A lobby control, wait until 1 minute, make a call. Yeah, and every time Loud would do a few plays to disrupt that A lobby presence and really take control of the map, like especially Aspas. Like on round 4, he took the initiative of going and flanking that C-long area and just holding them off there. And another round on round 6 where he just used his raise out to clear that Omen on that A default, and it really helped them like secure that A lobby presence and push DRX into the other side of the map.
Yeah, it was really good out of Loud in particular, and I think a lot of this first half was kind of shown by the head-to-head between these two comps. DRX went back to Comfort, and Loud led into the comp that a lot of people are playing, where the power comes down to the initiators and the retakes, and we saw it just there in that round. They're really good at these coordinated set plays to reclaim space on the map, particularly when Aspas is so proactive with taking space and finding those flanks.
Yeah, but now I think this is a situation, Seth, where, you know, DRX, they're going to have to get their mental in check. They can't come back, but they have to win some dang pistols in order to do it.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I'm looking for as we get ready to swap sides. They need to have a firm pistol round. I mean, if you look at it historically, Haven, they've been more attackers favored rather than defender sided, so they need to kick things off strongly. RB, he's starting to heat up. Mako is right there with him. We're seeing those shades of those players that we did get the glimpses of on Breeze, but Stax in particular, he is now the IGL for this squad. It has changed hands once more from Zest to him. He's taken up that mantle, and up until this point, up until this series, it has been looking utterly fantastic, but he is the linchpin. If he falls apart, the whole thing comes tumbling down.
Yeah, you see him getting frustrated in some of those reactions. DRX need to keep their mental in check. This game is not away from them yet, but it feels like in history, this 5-6 curves has come down to the emotion. It's come down to them getting deep and things slipping away. They don't want that to happen again. They're not out of this game. They're not out of this series. They need to collect because there's still a good chance of them to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if they can close this out, if they can bring this one back, it is going to reinvigorate them, and Icebox absolutely can be theirs.
Well, let's see if that's going to happen or not. Can DRX bounce back, or will Loud shut them out with a 2-0 win? Mitch and Tom, over to you.
Well, Tom, at an 8-4 scoreline, it is tough to believe in DRX. They move to their defense, but take a look at that stat down the bottom. 63% attacking round win rate.
We're trying to build hope and storylines here. This sounds quite bleak.
Well, let me give you a little
storyline. Perk it up
storyline.
a little bit.
Buzz has had a pretty poor performance at every international event he's been at. Now he comes into this one, second to Ye, looked incredible. But again, when it gets to this stage of the tournament, we see a different DRX. We see a choky DRX. And right now, it looks like Vader's got his grip on them. Loud planting in, they've got it for free on C, and a retake attempt in the pistol for DRX. They have won 0 out of 3 so far. They need this one to give them a foothold.
They have a lot of utility to get back in. The stuns, the paranoias. This is where DRX were at their best, was in the retakes.
Great nade.
Now they've already managed to at least stun up some of these players. RB on the way back through is going to get one, but it's a little disjointed. They're reliant on Buzz to lead the charge, and they're just getting slaughtered. It's left all onto Stacks, and he gets nothing done. It will be 9-4. Loud, they convert every pistol, maybe in the whole series, because the fact is DRX now need to fight back.
They need to fight back from this position, and it certainly ain't pretty. Look at this nade that came through. It was actually a little bit earlier. You saw it get thrown down by Aspis as they put all that utility you mentioned, Tom, into play. They were stunning, they were blinding, they were looking to seize the space, and in that moment, we had a nade go through that stopped the push entirely. It ruined the timing of DRX, something that they were so good at on Breeze, if you remember, and now it's come back to bite them on Loud side.
But that's the thing, historically, they were always fantastic on the retakes of this map, but yeah, the fact that Loud are so prepared for that is great. Oh, it's a little awkward, but they'll spam him through in the end. And now in an afterplant scenario, again, there's barely anything to play with here, Mitch.
Yeah, look, even the guy coming up behind is going to be caught by the trap. You don't have the element of surprise for Zest. There you go. Little sound cue, and that's all they need. Sassy picking up Buzz. They know there's one waiting for them behind. I don't think so. I mean, with the classics, it's already hard enough, but once these guys have the map control contained and they know where to focus, able to take duels as a team, there's not really much that you can do. This is double digits for Loud, locked in, guaranteed, and the only question remaining is whether Zest can even manage to just get close to being die at this point, but he wants to do damage on the way back out. But remember, he triggered the trap a little earlier, so they're staying well away from him.
I guess the main thing is just don't die to Sassy. Allow him to have Nightfall online going into the first buy round.
That would be a nightmare.
Yeah, it would be. Nonetheless, we now get the purchase from DRX. And I feel like it has to be a confident response. Even winning this round with like 2 players alive, it's not going to fill me with anything but worry.
You know what they're saying right now? Well, if DRX can do it, wait, we are.
Nice, nice.
They should be able to bring this across the line. They've had the clutches
We
before.
can do it. We can do it.
it.
I don't think you should be giving inspirational speeches anytime soon.
No, they've done it before. They can do it now. There's 6 rounds between them. But Loud, again, are setting their sights on the C site. And look at how quickly they're approaching. But Aspis is being caught in the stun. Fantastic. The trades, though, ever in Loud's favor. Stacks stuck on the back site. He's got one for free. They've left him completely unaccounted for. Maybe a chance here with the reposition being fantastic. He'll be traded out, but he's done well enough to equalize.
Yeah. He's given them a chance, and he's bought time, more importantly. They should have an idea. The Buzz is on the flank, although he's going to do some extra damage. The fight versus Pancada is a little awkward, and his teammate Zest can't really find an angle to take this fight. In fact, they're going to pressure him. They're going to push him, and in this corner might be a nasty surprise. I don't think they'll expect it. DRX, they will bounce back, give themselves a 5th, but again, it was costly and had to be a strong performance from Stacks.
It really did, but he put up the hold in the moment that matters. He answered their call, 5 rounds between them. But the problem here, Tom, is that this was a close round. It looked good from the perspective of winning a round for DRX, but the reality is it came close, and that wasn't the buy
It was
round for
mostly
Loud.
Spectres.
Yeah.
Unless with a double opener is still something to worry about. Now, I will say I kind of expect DRX to almost play a retake setup again. You just look at the ults that they have, it's sublime to go in for those retakes. Instead, though, Loud challenging mid early, and you can see that Buzz is already set up with deep A control. Loud are more than happy to just try and put this pressure on elsewhere.
There's 120 on the clock, so much time to work with. Seems they know that RB's in this corner and they want him gone. Cost him a bit of HP, bit of utility. He's going back in to reclaim that control. As Loud attempt to really drag those rotations, the only man watching this cross is Buzz, and the smoke now denies the information. This could be a fake, but it's not. The entirety of the attacking side seems to be shifting towards this A side. But as you said, it's likely to see a retake setup from these guys. Rolling Thunder and Nightfall to work with. They currently are playing on the site. They want to hold this and not give Loud any ground.
I wonder if he's going to use it. The problem is he's being hit by utility. Buzz does well, and then Zest is able to pounce off the back of it. Sassy alongside Les. 2v4. Dare I say it.
They've lost these before on DRX.
Yep, that was it.
Sassy and Les making their way in, and ult's still online. One kill and they might trigger it. They might pull it. Looks like they're going to be moving back to long to work together on this. Les has a TP to get out of here. He needs to put his second one down. Wants to claim some space, but 10 seconds left. It's now or never, and it looks like they'll make the call for the ladder.
Yeah, good from DRX. Like, they've kept this one cleaner than the last, and it was mainly just off the team play, the interplay from Buzz and Zest. I was a little bit worried with the utility coming through that Zest might not be able to swing off that. The fact that he gets a couple and then stays alive is crucial to the round. Economy for Loud's a little bit weird though, because you still have the Nightfall. Okay, you're not going to have yourself the tour de force right off the bat, but if you can collect an orb, maybe get a kill, things might get a little bit interesting.
I love those classes, man. 10-6, 4 rounds between them. DRX coming in still with the ability to play retake on those ultis, but ultis are starting to get pretty close for Loud as well. You know, with the rounds that they've got, a decent buffer to work with, they're definitely not out of hot water just yet. It looks like when we talked about the garage play last round, they didn't really manage to push RB out of it. This time they're going to change it up and look for B, and already Aspis up close in the smoke. A Stinger is going to catch him with ult out. That is a huge mistake from Stacks, and they double up with RB down. This eco round for Loud might just get them a whole lot of reward. Another!
Oh my god, how is Aspis getting so much done? That was one of the weaker weapons that they had, and now they're sat in an afterplant. One away from having the Rolling Thunder, and in fact they're going to throw in the Nightfall now. Just get that extra information, take away some of the HP and remove all the sound so they can just sprint back through. Marco, he's trying his best just to stick this, but he's going to go down to the Aftershock. Loud with an explosive round, grant themselves 11, and DRX, well, they've got to feel a little foolish, but I'll be honest, could you really expect Aspis to do that?
No, listen, you can expect him to be on the site, you can expect him to swing, but he was all the way up in their face, in their spawn. That said, Stacks on that swing, without the cover, without the player to trade, I mean, that is just a massive mistake. The problem is both players that were on that side wanted to use their ult. Yeah. That was the issue.
Well,
you didn't have a third guy to watch it.
One through a Prowler, and while he's throwing the Prowler, he's about to ult. So it just missed timing.
It's an oversight. It's a small thing, and then the only risk was that he would be there. Yeah. Unfortunately, he was. And now, look what they've got. A Rolling Thunder and a Showstopper coming into this round. Ulti's used on DRX's side previous. They don't have their Nightfall to work with. Their economy is on its last legs, Tom. If they lose this, they're down and out, but they've taken less to start.
Yeah, and that will at least give them a Blade Storm for the next round as a worst case. Again, though, some utility being burnt out by Aspis. It does seem like the plan is to go back towards that C site, at least for now. They're really trying to battle a little bit versus Marco. The real fight is going to be between them and RB, though, who's actually starting to rotate back. This might give up quite a bit of control.
Well, that Rolling Thunder's just putting the turret out of position, although it's still going to catch them on the way through. But the only damage that comes from it is, well, from RB is the turret. Showstopper right into the back. Pancat is already dead. They're starting to clean up some kills on DRX, but they haven't dealt with Aspis. The site is theirs, the plant can be as well, and Buzz is a little too far away to capitalize on these kills. Oh, he's dodged the hunt.
Yeah, 20 seconds left. He might be able to make a move as they go for the plant, but he's not going to win the battle. Sassy holding the angle, lands the instant headshot. And now, as you mentioned, DRX, well, saying they're on their last legs would be an understatement. They're in critical condition as they're going to come in with a weak purchase, a Blade Storm on Buzz, a lockdown, which, as we've mentioned, is, especially on this map, just so incredibly weak. I'm intrigued to see what they even try and pull out here.
We saw the last 3 rounds of the previous half have RB multiply his kills by 10 across those 3. When he got up to 10, he's now sat on 12. Yep, 2 decent rounds, 3 decent rounds, but outside of that, DRX have struggled. Their heroes haven't been here, and as we said, Buzz, second on the stats board for this event. He hasn't been showing up. He's been shut down every step of the way, and it is yet again the case. Blade Storm removed. Good kill for Stax. The spam back is strong. He was decayed so much, but his health is coming back. Makes it a little easier, but that lockdown isn't going to get the space they wanted out of it. RB with a drop, but only 1, and it's falling apart. Cloud are able to close it with 3 quick kills, and for the second time, they will be going to the